Everybody has imposter syndrome. I've been doing this a long time. I raise a lot of money. I talk to a lot of investors. I manage money for over 300 investor families. So I do this a lot. But there's areas of investing that is not my specialty, like debt. So if I have to walk into Mellon Bank, the City National Bank, Silicon Valley Bank, JP Morgan Chase downtown in their institutional division, I'm out of my depth and I get a little bit of imposter syndrome. Everybody has imposter syndrome, the sense of being somewhere that they got elevated prematurely. They're not an expert in that environment and they don't know everything. So no problem. But how do you elevate or manage your status in those situations where you've got some imposter syndrome? One thing I can tell you is being prepared. This sounds like a silly fortune cookie thing, but today's world is different than it was 10 years ago. Nobody comes to anything prepared because of the AI, because of the Zoom, because of just the low standards that we've come down to. Nobody comes to any meetings prepared. People come flying into meetings, don't know the names of the people in meetings, spilling coffee on themselves, and have done no preparation. I'm just telling you, 2025 is no longer 2018, 2016, 2013. I was around and very busy during all those years. People prepared for meetings and it was a mark of seriousness. Get yourself ready, know people's names, but that's an easy one. To really do psychological status, what I love is taking away people's ability to knock you down a notch. And I do this to raise my own status. Two sides to every pancake, no matter how thin. Nobody's perfect. Everybody knows that. I always admit my vulnerabilities, and my vulnerabilities aren't my strengths. So I can strengthen my strengths, the things that I'm great at. I can even brag about them if I come in and acknowledge my vulnerabilities. So it's like a game. For every vulnerability you acknowledge, you can add one strength on top of it. You can raise your status if you also lower it at the same time. For me, I raise a lot of money. I manage money for these 300 families. I announced a couple years ago that I'm sick and tired of turning other people into 100 millionaires. I'm gonna add $100 million to my own net worth a couple years down the road so I succeed on the goal. There's a lot that I stink at. Because I wrote the book, Pitch Anything, that's what I'm great at. When we have to get into something and frame a pitch, tell a story, break something down so it's easy to understand but still complex enough, that's what I do. If you look around here, I have moved hundreds of millions of dollars. I am successfully built this place up to 3 people over 15 years. My companies manage a lot of people because there's professional managers in there, but managing people is not my thing. I'm hard to work with. Not long ago, I bought $4 million of inventory and I have successfully converted that into $4 million of inventory. I am not an operator. I am not a manager of people and I'm difficult to work with, but raising money, managing investors, I do it about as good as it can be done. So bottom line is you take people's ability to diminish you or demonize you or bring up your vulnerabilities by bringing them to the surface themselves and taking the other side and highlighting what you're great at. That's how you manage status.